This is the Mahindra XEV9S, where S probably stands for seats or 7-seater or SUV. This car is essentially the traditional SUV version of the 9e, which is actually a coupe SUV. Because the dashboard technology, electric motor, battery, range, performance, everything is very much similar to the 9e. In fact, the features are almost similar too. However, it's a 7-seater like the 700, and the design elements all across here, especially towards the rear side, is similar to the 700. So the 9e and the 700 went for a date, and the result is this. But it has got quite a lot of exterior changes when compared to the 9e, for which you might probably need binoculars. Because the front end design is same yet different, because the Meta logo has been moved from here to here. I think that has been done to reduce the visual bulk of the grille. The camera position has moved as well. The grille is slightly different. I think it's slightly bigger probably. The lights are slightly different because this one extends a bit. So yes, the DRL is slightly different. In essence, it's the same, but it is different because this part here has been extended or is new, because of which obviously the hood would be slightly different. The bumper is different actually. It has slight changes there. I don't know why they have done it. Maybe just to differentiate the car from the 9e. Probably the 700 facelift will look similar. I guess not. Maybe, whatever, who cares. Let's come to the side, where the big change are to the wheels. 235/60 18-inch tires here. The 9e actually runs on 245/55 19-inch tires. So yes, higher profile, smaller sized wheels, which obviously results in better ride quality. By the way, the tire size here is identical to the XUV 700. And so are the door handles and the lines here and the tail lights. Okay, these are updated ones with honeycomb treatment, but you see the shape is quite similar. In fact, this tailgate is also similar to the 700. It's actually quite light. But the 9e actually gets a power tailgate. This one does not. Maybe for cost reasons. And this one gets a rear wiper washer, which the 9e does not get. The charging port in the 9e is somewhere here. Meanwhile, in this 9s, it is placed in the conventional spot where it is in the 700 for filling fuel. The dashboard of the 9s is identical to the 9e. It's actually a cut copy paste job. It's a Xerox right here, which is both a good and bad thing. Good because there's a lot of technology. There are 3 screens right there, 12.3 inch, 12.3 inch, 12.3 inch, massive screen, lot of tech, slick to use, but physical buttons are actually missing. UI is confusing, and the touch buttons on the steering wheel not good to use at all. You accidentally end up hitting the horn when you're trying to operate some button there, and again, lot of glossy finish, which is prone to a lot of scratches and a lot of fingerprints, unfortunately. But yes, the cabin is a nice place to be in. It's comfortable, the seats are nice, so much tech, selfie cameras here, electric parking brake, I mean, you name it. This car is loaded to the brim. And how, now I don't want to get into the features of the vehicle because obviously it's the same as the 9e. However, you get a 360-degree parking camera, you get a fantastic 16-speaker Harman Kardon sound system with 1400 watt output. Six-way electric adjust seats at the front with memory for the driver. You can save up to 3 people. Settings as well. You get an AR heads-up display, which is phenomenal in terms of quality. You get climate control, air conditioning. The co-passenger, who has a screen of his own, can see YouTube, can browse through media, can entertain himself with a lot of things. That guy's going to be busy for sure, but there's no privacy filter, so the driver can actually see things happening there on that particular screen. AC is a chiller. You've got these buttons on the steering wheel for regen. You've got a boost mode, one pedal driving. All those buttons have been placed right here. The instrument cluster could be a bit more funky. It's a bit plain or basic, not to my liking, to be honest, because I'm the one who likes to see a tachometer. Electric cars don't have a tachometer, unfortunately, so that's a bit of a miss right here. But once I get into the screen, I realized that it has a lot of gimmicks as well. For starters, it has something known as Groove Me, which does a light show too much copied from Tesla. And the best part is that panoramic roof does not have ambient lighting. Not the best part, actually. It's not so cool not to have ambient lighting there. But the good part is that, forget the ambient lighting, this actually opens. Yes, this thing did not open in the 9E, it opens in the 9S. So conventional panoramic sunroof which actually opens. Superb, I like it. And when I get into the screen, I realize information overload. There's just so much happening here, and at times, you know, the screen is not that fluid to use. It's not like not the best. Level 2 ADAS has been given here. You have a selfie camera. What? Really? Yes, you have a selfie camera. I mean, you need to get inside to see what kind of stuff you can do here, because it's kind of stupid, yet it's hilarious. So here is the selfie camera, and you can do like driver monitoring. You can do all these monitoring aspects of the interior, what's happening and all. You can record a video if you want, and then you can take Teams call. You can basically work from the car. So that's kind of cool, and that kind of makes me wonder that the freedom of sitting in a car is going to get robbed when you start working from your car. Boss is like, yeah, your car has a camera, why can't you just connect to it and show us your face, and then we can probably decide what has to be done next. Thankfully I don't have a boss. But anyways, let's come into the filters mode, and then it has got AI masks. Okay, you can put the Meta glasses on your face with the Meta logo. Oh, that's actually the Mahindra logo, the Infinity logo. And then, you know what, if you feel that you're not man enough, then you can actually have a dog filter where you do pow pow, and then you can put mustache and all. I mean, pointless stuff. Cars are becoming gimmicks, and this is just proof of that, because obviously with electric there's no feel as such of an internal combustion engine, so they have to do all this like a robot, just like telling you how electric cars are to drive, very robotic, and then I can become Santa Claus and all. So this is exactly all the stuff it does when you get into the selfie camera mode, and you can do it on video and all those things also. I mean, yeah, okay, fine, whatever. The 9E has boss mode. It's actually manual. This one has electric boss mode. Using these buttons here, I can move the seat ahead and behind to increase the space at the rear. And trust me on this, space at the rear is actually quite impressive. There's good amount of knee room, leg room, and under thigh support is also good for someone as tall as me, which is absolutely amazing. And headroom seems to be adequate enough. Something I can't really say about the 9E because of the sloping roof line, which means this is a nice car for the second row. But this being the 7-seater, needs to do well in the third row, which most cars are not able to. But can this one really change that? Let's get inside. I can actually slide my seat ahead and behind, which is such a good thing, so that I can make more space for the third row. And I can also recline the seat. Where's the freaking lever gone here? I'm just searching for it right now, sorry, misplaced it. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, I can recline the seat. That's also so cool. And you know what's the coolest thing about this car? This second row actually has got seat ventilation, which means people at the rear can be cool headed as well. Now let me get out from here and tumble this seat down, because you're going to get into the third row immediately. How do I tumble? Simply I press this lever, I punch this, and then this thing, yeah, this thing is making space for me to get into the third row. It's not an easy job to get into the third row. You do have to climb into the third row, because yeah, it's cumbersome. So the boot space isn't as great as the 9E, because this one has seats right here, but it still has a 150-liter frunk, which is quite useful to keep your charging port, and obviously to keep knickknacks as well. Meanwhile, I am just going to demonstrate. Oh my goodness, this seat is so heavy. How do I fit into the third row? So I'm just going to put the seat back up. Firstly, this is upright. I can actually recline it a bit as well. Yes, yeah, it reclines a bit too. So it's practical in that regard, which is such a good thing. And with all the rows up, well, there is little to no boot space, which is obviously a bit disappointing. But then with 7-seater SUVs, this is something you would expect. Now come ahead and let me show you the space on offer in the third row. Not much, my friends, not much. This is best for adults who you don't like, or for kids obviously, because you sit in a knees up position. Under thigh support is terrible obviously. Legroom, knee room, not there at all. For short distances, good. For long distances, kids are just fine here. Just adults should not sit here. Good thing though is there are AC vents in the third row, and there is a control for the blower speed as well. So rotary dial, you can just rotate. That's nice. Doesn't have USB-C charging sockets, but has a 12-volt charging socket. Well, headroom is just about adequate. This is not a place I would like to sit in, but you know, most 7-seater SUVs, they don't have a functional third row for adults, at least, unless and until you sit in something like, say, the Kia Carnival, or probably, I don't know, Cadillac Escalade. Wow! Why is this extended like this? Who's gonna pay my hospital bills? Which brings me to 5 annoying things I don't like about this car. And the first one being getting in and out from the third row. Such a pain in the The second annoying thing is that in the interest of aero efficiency for the floor, they've actually put a cover on the spare wheel which is placed right below here. So getting that out can be a bit of a pain because you have to unscrew a lot of things. I fear a puncture. I fear if the car gets punctured, I'm so screwed. The third annoying thing are some of the ergonomics in this car. Like the single switch for the sunblind and the sunroof. At times you just want to open the sunblind, you end up opening the sunroof as well. The touch sensitive buttons on the steering wheel, at times you want to click something and you end up becoming horny. You end up honking. And obviously this screen, which has a very cumbersome menu, and at times it's not very reactive as such. Too many things happening here. Very little physical buttons. Yeah, not my kind, definitely not. The fourth annoying thing is the price. Yes, it is expensive. If I want a 7-seater SUV, why would I not get the cheaper Scorpio N or the 700? I know this has a lot more tech, features, performance, blah, 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 but you're obviously paying the electric tax. Not really in that sense, because obviously there's no registration charge. But wait a second, if you're from Bangalore, I pity you more. Roads, lot of crowd, lot of potholes, and then you have to freaking pay 10% lifetime registration charge for EVs costing more than rupees 25 lakhs, which is this one. So sad. Which means you have to pay rupees 3.5 lakhs more than what we Mumbaikars have to pay for this car. And the fifth annoying thing are the electronics, and there are too many of them in this car. And of course, we know that Tata and Mahindra have not been able to eradicate issues from the electronics. They are teething issues which crop up over time and can get a bit frustrating. It's going to take them some time to iron them out, because that's a long journey to not have electronic issues. And why am I getting so electronic about it? Anyways, there are a lot of good things to like about this car. Here are 5 of them I really love. The first is the performance. It's electrifyingly fast, and that's because it has got state-of-the-art electric architecture, batteries from BYD, blade cells, lithium iron phosphate, LFP, whatever, yeah, LFP battery pack, good range, almost 500 kilometers on a full charge. It's very fast, 282 horsepower, 380 Newton meters of torque, and it's freaking rear-wheel drive. You can wait to see how good it is to drive in the driving part of this video, but yes, they have nailed it in terms of the performance, in terms of the ride, handling, high-speed stability, braking. Everything here is absolutely fantastic. I love it. In fact, I told you the second pro as well. Or second thing I really like about this car is the dynamic balance, especially with the smaller size tires. Ride quality is phenomenal here. Steering feel is good. It's light at low speeds. It weighs up at high speeds. Why am I even talking about all this? In the driving part, I'm going to blabber the hell out. Whew. The third thing I really like about this car are the features. It's loaded to the brim and how, but it has some really cool bits which you can't imagine. Like this car can be driven with the remote. Yes, it's got auto park, self park, it can do all that and more. Just imagine this. Kiki, do you love me? Wow! What the did I just do? The fourth thing I like about this car is the practicality. It's comfortable, it's feature loaded, the seats are nice. Overall, it's a pleasant place to be in. It's actually a pleasant place to be driven in. It's a pleasant car to drive. It just nails everything. Honestly, this is fantastic. Mahindra, you've actually done a phenomenal job. I could never think this maybe 5-7 years down the line that you could make such a nice electric car, especially not after you made those Rivas. I'm so sorry. Did I just say And the fifth thing I like about this car is the warranty for the high voltage battery. Okay, it's hot. Basically, you get lifetime warranty on the battery of this car for the first owner. And lifetime means the lifetime of this car, which is 15 years, because after 15 years, you have to re-register it. Meanwhile, if you happen to sell the car, then the person who buys the car gets a total warranty since the date of sale of 10 years or 2 lakh kilometers, which also is better than the industry standard of 8 years, 1.6 lakh kilometers. And no matter what happens, never freaking stand out of the sunroof like this when the car is moving. Get inside, loser. So, pretty impressive in terms of design, technology, features, interior, space, practicality. But how is it to drive? Let's cheer the freaking beans. Let's go. Beep, beep. Alright, let's quickly come into the best drive mode, which is obviously race drive mode. And I'm also going to turn off the traction control because we can. And then I'm going to come into the screen. Okay, I'm getting used to this now. And there's a performance meter right here. So we are just going to start tracking how fast the car is to go from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour. We come into drive mode, left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator. And I turn off the electric parking brake. Yes. And 1 second, not energy consumption. I want the power flow. And off we go. The funny thing is there's a video playing there and you can very much see it. My seatbelt is buckled up, but still that seatbelt thing is ringing right now. 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 7 seconds, exactly as per Mahindra's claim. Oh my goodness, in this screen as well as my GPS recorder, and that is the Harrier EV video playing right now there, which is quite funky. Okay, I can hear a bit of the wind noise, quite a bit of the wind noise, and yeah, I get on the brakes. I don't need to actually, I was just testing the brakes. My goodness, the car feels so damn freaking awesome to drive. High speed, performance, everything is just mind-blowing here. It goes, and how, my god, it's picking up pace. Already hit 180 kilometers per hour, 187, and now on the straight, let's see what it manages, because the top speed comes in really very quickly. So 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 7 seconds, and I can just change the meters if I want. The G-force meter, I don't know what I'm doing, lap timer and all those things, but yes, this is quite accurate. 200 kilometers per hour is the top back here. It should go faster still. Okay, I'm getting onto the brakes because I can, and the brakes are also nice and sharp. So for starters, there are two battery packs. There's a 59 kilowatt hour battery pack, which obviously is the base battery, which is the smaller battery pack, which produces, I mean, the motor there is producing 228 horsepower, and the torque output happens to be 380 newton meters. Same 380 newton meters of torque in that as well. So same torque whether you opt for the smaller or the bigger battery. The bigger battery, the one I'm driving right now, 79 kilowatt hour. Well, the power output is an impressive 282 horsepower, and traction control automatically, I think, is turned off. I think, yeah, that's how it works. Yeah, I'm just stepping on the brakes because I can, just to see how the brakes are. Brakes are actually nice. Somehow the ride and handling balance is fantastic in this car. They've done a phenomenal job in terms of the ride and handling balance of this car. It feels so damn freaking smooth to drive, which is unbelievable. Not really, because it's an electric car. So it has got an LFP battery pack and blade battery from BYD. Amazing battery, amazing performance, very fast, reaches its top speed in no time at all. Brakes are good, ride and handling is good, steering is light at low speeds, weighs up beautifully well at higher speeds, so feels super sure-footed as well. Yeah, the car feels so damn sure-footed. And as soon as I come here onto the banking, I realize that somehow, you know, the weight of this car, 2200 kgs plus, doesn't really inspire to go flat out as such, but obviously the banking is such, you can do that if you want. Steering weighs up well at high speed. The car actually is quite glued to the road at high speeds. Little bit of vertical movement. The ride quality is actually very good here. Smooth ride, very, very, very smooth ride. Let's come into the fastest most lane right now and belt it. So steering feel is good. The performance is really very good, but it hits a top back of 200 kilometers per hour. It does not go any further. Yeah, and then, you know, as soon as I step on the brakes, I realize that the brakes are very good. Somehow they're very good. The conventional brakes and the, you know, regen brakes, they work fantastically well. So they, you have level 1, level 2, level 3, and then you obviously have got the one pedal driving as well if you want to do one pedal, and you can turn it off completely for a natural driving feel as well. So those options are certainly there in this car, and smoothness is there, refinement is there, because of which obviously you can hear a lot of the road and wind noise. At least I mean, at those speeds you would definitely expect to hear a lot of the road and wind noise as such, because naturally that's expected, right? Because the faster you go, the more you hear what the road has to offer. And let's just belt it. Beautiful. The way it actually manages high speeds is fantastic. Now obviously this is a 7-seater, so more people on board, it will feel much better to drive at these speeds, because then it will be more glued to the road with more weight. In terms of range, Mahindra claims around 500 kilometers, real world expect around 450 kilometers. which is not bad at all, which is also quite impressive. With the 59 kilowatt hour battery pack, the lower battery pack, expect a range of not more than, trust me, you're not going to get more than 400 kilometers, but then that's fine. Charging options multiple. If you get the super fast charger, which honestly is a very difficult task to get in India, yeah, where will you be able to charge at those speeds anyways? Yeah, you can't really charge at those speeds, but if you manage to get that super fast charger, which is basically the 175 kilowatt DC ultra fast charger, then you can juice up the battery from 20 to 80% in just 20 minutes, which is absolutely phenomenal. The way this car is to drive is actually quite fun, rear wheel drive now, so it doesn't put pressure on the front wheels, which means that the front wheels are free. That's the reason why it drives so well. There's another feel of rear wheel drive, but you know what they have done is they have not at all given it too much of dynamism. Like it's not made it, like Mahindra's not made it dynamic. So now the power flow has been restricted. I don't know why. Probably the battery is heated up or what. So what they have done is they've been very clear. They don't want people to go sideways and crash, and that's the reason they have gone ahead and just made sure that the battery, like the rear wheel drive, does not mean people go doing donuts and drifting. So that safety system is always there. Then 5-star in terms of safety rating and all those things. So fantastic in all those regards. But driving feel is actually very nice and commendable here. Feels smooth to drive, feels fast, feels not what I would say raw, because obviously you won't expect a car like this to be raw. Multiple drive modes. There's an everyday drive mode, there's a range drive mode, there's a default drive mode, and there's a race drive mode. And no matter what drive mode you are, you hit this button, the boost button, and it gives you instant punch as well. So in boost mode you can go much faster, you can go as fast as you want in boost mode, because boost is obviously not the secret of your energy, it's also the secret of this car's energy. Yeah, it gives that instant boost to make sure that you can just use any drive mode anytime, and for quick overtakes just hit that button and just go bonkers fast. I like the grip levels, I like the speed, I like the performance, I definitely like how smooth the battery is. Multiple drive modes, regen is good. Okay, let's try the regen here. So now I have turned off regen completely, so it's coasting. Now I come into level 3 of regen, and look at how it's applying the brakes. We come into one pedal driving, and then all of a sudden it's become super aggressive here in terms of applying the brakes. So yeah, slowing it down quite a lot. I can feel that the car will come to a halt. Yes, it will definitely come to a halt. So we'll just give an indicator here in the last lane, and I've left the throttle completely, and let's see how far does it go before it comes to a halt. No, it doesn't go far, it just stops there. We have stopped. That's one pedal driving for you. So I'm just going to turn it off, and we are going to reset this. Let's do the acceleration test once again. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, revving the motor, and off we go. Nice blind view monitor. Picks up pace effortlessly. Now 0 to 100 km per hour took 8 seconds. I think the battery is heated up a bit, because at these temperatures and these speeds, obviously the battery is put under a lot of stress. There's a power saving mode too. Okay, there is body roll. Around the corners you can feel the body roll, but something this heavy will obviously have body roll. Ride is actually very impressive. Feels slightly better also when compared to the 9E, because of the higher profile of the tires and the way the car has been engineered with the battery on the floor in between the wheelbase, like all electric cars. Obviously a lot of weight there, so good center of gravity, thankfully. And that, along with the fact that center of gravity is one thing, but along with the center of gravity, let's not forget this car also has little top heavy nature because of the design and the height and all, but that center of gravity lower down obviously helps in managing the way this car drives. So in race mode, obviously there is no limit. I think it's electronically limited to 200 kilometers per hour. What speed does it actually do? I have managed to not see my specialist timing gear at all to understand what speed it is actually doing. So let's try and do that right now. And okay, there's still 20 kilometers per hour more to go. It's almost the same. Yeah, there is there is absolutely no this thing, what do I say? Speedo error. It's not there. That's how fantastic it is. Impressive, yeah, impressive. Mahindra has really knocked it out of the park. A 7-seater electric SUV being this quick is like unbelievable. It's fantastic. I really love driving this car. The drive experience is something which is quite amazing by electric car standards. Obviously that engine sound and all is not there, but you can fake it if you want to. So there's race, there's V8 tribute and all those things. So all those sounds you can definitely make if if you want, and there it's just giving 46% power, because I think I've consumed a lot of battery in this high-speed run today. But big battery, good battery, you don't feel the weight of this car. Somehow, surprisingly, you don't feel the weight of this car, which is another very impressive thing. Are you looking at my Harrier EV video, or are you focusing here? Guys, come on, focus on the car we are driving today. Look at the amount of sweat, look at the amount of heat. Fantastic car. I really like this car, and honestly, out of the three, I think this is the most practical one, because yeah, we all know that, okay, there is no water in the washer fluid. No. So we all know that this is absolutely phenomenal. What? The BE6 as well as the 9E, and with the 9S they are going to really capture the market, because now this is also offering practicality along with all the great tech, great charging, fast charging, good battery, good warranty, good performance, good ride, good handling, good high speed stability. Steering is also good, weighs up well, doesn't feel hairy at all. I mean, it's a job well done. There's nothing to complain on that front. In terms of the driving experience, I can't complain. I can only say that like Mahindra has made a global EV. This can be sold in other markets as well. That's how impressive it is in terms of the driving feel, in terms of the performance and all those things. Now they just need to slap in a front motor, and we have got all-wheel drive as well. Now that's something which could shake up the market completely. But for all-wheel drive guys who want to go off-road, they already have the Thar Rocks, and they have the XEV9S I with all-wheel drive. They have the Scorpio with 4 Explorer, and all that is already there. Whew, lovely. I can keep doing this all day long. That's how amazing and fun this is. And I think it started to drizzle all of a sudden. I don't know how that is happening, but that is very unpredictable weather here right now in Bangalore. Driving around the what is this, outer ring road in Bangalore. You can call this the nice road. It's so nice. It's so nice. What do I say? It's just amazingly nice. This is a mile muncher. This is an EV. Now people will really like enjoy driving, because they can go with people and their luggage and their family and their friends and just keep munching on the miles effortlessly. Cost per running unbelievably low. Well, what a car. I'm definitely very impressed. Yes, there are a few shortcomings, but then as an overall package, this is hard to beat. The XEV9S is absolutely phenomenal as an electric 7-seater SUV. It's not the most spacious in the third row, but it gets the job done. You hate people, stuff them in the third row and tell them, we are going on a road trip. Nobody's going to say no. But Mahindra has actually done a phenomenal job. BYD, who? We don't need BYD. We have got our own Mahindra. And it's great to see Tata also doing great stuff with the Harrier EV. Hopefully, we get better cars and someday you guys wake up. What am I saying? When I say you guys, I freaking mean you Mahindra, you Tata. We need a sports freaking car. It should not be electric. Give us an internal combustion sports car. I've praised your car so much today. At least now, kuch to kar lo.